Good evening, everyone. My name is Sir Jude, and this is the video lecture for our lesson this this morning and tomorrow. Okay. So after the ADM activity, we had our one of the funniest and happiest activities that we ever had in the school year so far, which is the riff off, which is derived from the movie Pitch Perfect. I asked you to sing in pairs, a couple of lyrics, whether English or Tagalog, and here are the results. Ano? So fireworks, Whirlpool, Cartwheel, and Bearpaw finish all the songs with Whirlpool emerging as a triumphant section with 7 minutes and 46 seconds, followed by Bearpaw with 8 minutes and 46 seconds. And then, what do you call this? Fireworks with 9 minutes and 12 seconds, and Cartwheel with 9 minutes and 44 seconds. Uh, Sorry to say, for Milky Way and Pinwheel, both sections were disqualified because of the 10-second dead air. Pinwheel lasted for 5 minutes and 2 seconds, so therefore more songs were sung compared to Milky Way, which only lasted for 2 minutes and 11 seconds. So congratulations, especially to the four sections. Okay. So what was the purpose of the riff off? The purpose of the riff off, or rather the activity itself, mirrors the second part of um our lessening nervous system. So here are some of the guide questions that I asked earlier. How did you know it was your time to sing? So I in the piece of paper that I gave you, there's the signal or the previous song and the song that you're actually about to sing. No? So you know it's your turn to sing when the previous pair of singers were done singing their part. Okay? So, do your classmates have the same pickup time as you, regardless of the length of the lyrics? The answer here is no, because some of the pairs, especially on the middle songs, no, only one stands up first, while the other waits for the other for his other class or his or her classmate to stand, no? So maybe because they were confused by their instructions, maybe they weren't paying attention to the activity or to the first to the pair of singers who sang before them. Maybe they were not familiar with the lyrics of the song. Yeah, so not all pairs were able to move or pick up the signal simultaneously. Now, do all the songs make sense as an entire song? So we started with Bad Romance and we ended with Flashlight. So obviously speaking, you have 23 songs earlier and they are nonsensical as if we combine them as one song. But the reason why I we had our brief of activities because each song, or rather the sequence of events and as well as the rate to which the pairs reacted to the signal or to the songs rather resemble again the second part of our nervous system, okay, or discussion of the nervous system, okay. So since the topic a while ago focuses on how, or rather the parts in a nerve cell or neuron uh, affected by the signal, no, causing the reaction of our body. So there are 8 parts of the nerve cell or neuron, but I only want to focus with 4. So let's start with dendrites. So dendrites are the signal receivers from other neurons. In the riff of earlier, the signal was me knocking the blackboard or the whiteboard 3 times. Okay. And the first pair of singers, the one who sang Bad Romance, they actually represented the dendrites. Okay. So after picking up the signals from the dendrites, so the signals pass through the axon. So axon are the signal carriers within a neuron. So the subsequent pairs from Pusong Bato until I think it was What's Up, no? Those pair of singers there, they represented the axon because they were the one carrying the message um all the way to the entire class. And inside the nerve cell or neuron, the axons were the ones who convey or transmit the message um within the nerve cell or the neuron. And notice that the axon is coated or surrounded by what we call the myelin sheaths, no? They speed up the signal transmission. So without the myelin sheath, maybe the signal transmission would be slower. So it's very important to have more myelin sheaths. Okay. And lastly, the last part of the nerve cell or neuron that takes up the signal is the synapse. And once the signal reaches the synapse, now it will pass the signal to the other neuron because the synapse connects one neuron or nerve cell to another. So to simplify things, the pathway of signal transmission uh, is first picked up by dendrites, then carried over to axon, then sped up by the myelin sheaths, and then being passed on to synapse, which in turn transfers the signal to other nearby nerve cells or neurons, causing reaction. Okay, so what speeds up and slows down neuron signals? So in our comparison here, so we have a large diameter axon and a small diameter axon, meaning we are comparing axon diameters, no? So think of a signal as a car stuck in a, I'm sorry, think of it this way, no? If you have a large diameter axon, therefore it will have more space for the signal to pass through. Therefore, large diameter axon will speed up neuron signals, while small diameter axon will slow down neuron signals due to the limited or cramped or compressed space. Okay, next. Uh, ah, right. Ano naman, in this case, you have myelinated axon and demyelinated axon. So in the first part, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 myelin sheaths, while on the second part, you have only 1, 2, 3, 4 myelin sheaths. No, so myelin sheaths here are represented by yellow ovals with grayish circle at the center. And because the purpose of myelin sheaths is to speed up signal transmission, therefore, the second factor here is presence of myelin sheaths, no? So myelinated axon speeds up neuron signals, while the myelinated axon slows down neuron signals. Okay, next. This one is very obvious, so age, no? So what happens to our neuron signals as we age, or is it faster or slower compared to that of infants, or especially kids to teenagers to adulthood? So as we age, no, our neuron signals become slower. We become more and more degenerative, no, because even our neuron signals they start to decay as well, and then to the point that they don't perform their function as they used to, no? Because the parts of the neurons or our body becomes more and more degraded. While of course, kapag mas bata tayo, if we are younger, especially if we were in the process of maturation or in our development from infancy to toddler to preschooler to schooler to adolescence and then actually until early to middle adulthood, no? Then our neuron signals become our speed up rather. But again, this is not necessarily true to every single person. More of general observation rather than individual because remember we have different metabolism, we have different properties as or experiences as a human being. So it really depends, no? Really depends. But for age, no, as we age towards as we mature or progress from infancy down to adulthood, I would say that our neuron signals become faster. What from let's say middle adulthood to late adulthood, our neuron signals slow down. Okay, next is temperature. So this one is easy. For colder temperature, it will slow down neuron signals, no? While for warmer temperature, they will speed up neuron signals. Imagine yourself, no, syempre sa Philippines, hindi naman nag-snow, but imagine yourself freezing, no? Then some parts of our body begin to crystallize. Then therefore, even the process of signal transmission will be crystallized as well, or rather it will stop. Kaya Pag malamig, neuron signals will slow down. Pag mainit, neuron signals will speed up. Okay? Um, Next tayo. Okay, healthy diet versus unhealthy diet. This is super easy. So, we're talking about diet or lifestyle. So for healthy diet, syempre, it will speed up neuron signals, while unhealthy diet obviously slow down neuron signals, no? Because we are especially our bodies our body needs nutrients such as vitamins and minerals, no, to cater to the physiological processes happening, which is open I mean which is heavily tackled or explored once you pursue heavier biology topics or pursue anatomy or even medicine, no? Doon yung mas maiintindihan. But again, generally speaking, once you have a healthy lifestyle or healthy diet, once you eat the right kind of food and um what you call this, separate yourself or rather control yourself from your unhealthy habits, then therefore that will contribute to speed faster rate of signal transmission. Okay, next. Ayan. So, since lesson is super quick, so let's label the parts of the nerve cell or neuron. I inverted the positioning of the numbers. Here for number one, we have synapse, no? The one that carries or that transfers the signal from one neuron to another, connects one neuron to another. Then number two refers to the myelin sheaths, no? The one that will or the ones that will speed up the rate of signal transmission. Within number three, the axon, the signal carriers along the nerve cell or neuron. And number four is the dendrites, no, which picks up or receives the signals. Okay? So, marami tayong iba't ibang klase ng nerve cell or neuron, but I only want to narrow ourselves down to the five senses, no, the nerves that are common in our five senses. Let's start with sense of sight or seeing or vision, which is carried out by our eyes, no. The nerve responsible for that is the optic nerve. For hearing or audition is the auditory nerve. You want to listen, or if you're sensitive when it comes to sounds, and auditory nerve is the one in charge of those. Okay. Now, for sense of smelling or olfaction, we have the olfactory nerve. For tasting or gustation, whether a certain food is delicious or not, whether it is sweet, um, sour, salty, or bitter, the ones responsible for that are the taste buds. Okay. And there's a lot for sensation, and I want only to focus on five. Let's start with Merkel's discs. So light touches. So if you're, let's say, for example, when someone just happens to hold your hand, no, but in a very light manner, then the nerve grasping or rather feeling that light grasp is the Merkel's discs. For touch and low frequency vibration, we have the Meissner's corpuscles. For pressure and high frequency vibration, we have Pacinian corpuscles. No, we have a lot of examples in the subsequent slides that will differentiate Merkel's discs, Meissner corpuscles, and Pacinian corpuscles. For Raffini's ending, for warmth and deformation, and for cross and bobs, in charge when you feel something that is super cold. Okay. Ayan. So, let's identify the nerve or nerves that function in each scene from Stranger Things. Okay? So again, here are the list of the nerves and the specific function they carry out with respect to the five senses. Optic nerve, we have vision. Auditory nerve, audition. Olfactory nerve, olfaction. Taste buds, gustation. Merkel's discs, light touches. Meissner's corpuscles have touch and low frequency vibration. Pacinian corpuscles have pressure and high frequency vibration. Ruffini's ending, warmth and deformation, cross and bulbs, cold. Let's start with number one. So we have Jonathan Byers getting tickled by his pillow fabric. So we know that pillow fabric is gentle and soft to touch. Therefore, um, the tickling sensation that he feels corresponds to light touches. Therefore, this one is Merkel's discs. For number two, one of the most iconic scenes in season four. So we have Max Mayfield suffocated by Vecna's tentacles. When you are suffocated or asphyxiated or gasping for air, uh, therefore, you feel immense pressure and high frequency vibration. Therefore, number two corresponds to Pacinian corpuscles. For number three, Lucas Sinclair feels the vibration of his walkie-talkie. So remember in Stranger Things, they use a lot of old walkie-talkies or old radios in the 1980s, no? And just like in the cell phone, no, that corresponds only to low frequency vibration. Kaya for number three, we have the Meissner's corpuscles. Number four, 11, smelling the sumptuous aroma of waffles. This is pretty straightforward. So when your sense of smelling corresponds to olfaction, therefore we have olfactory nerve. Number five, we have Jim Hopper shivering while shoveling snow in Russia. So that's cold. Okay, kaya we have cross and bulbs. Yan, I think I put it here. Okay, let's move on to items, to the subsequent items. Ayan. Let me just erase the texts. Number six, we have Erica Sinclair trying different flavors of ice cream at Scoops Ahoy. So when you try different flavors or tasting them, that's gustation. So we have taste buds. For number seven, Dustin Henderson listens to a private Russian message from his antenna. Therefore, listening corresponds to audition. Therefore, auditory nerve. Number eight, Joyce Byers recognizes the map of Hawkins, Indiana from Will Byers' scribbles. So you're recognizing something, seeing something, so that's vision. Kaya we have the optic nerve. And number nine, Will hyperventilates after being exposed to exhaust fans and microwaves. So exhaust fans and microwaves give off intense heat. Kaya for number nine, we answer Ravini's ending. And so for the first part of the second half of nervous system, we focus on signal transmission, passing through dendrites, axon, myelin sheaths, and synapse in the nerve cell or neuron. And for this our finale lesson for nervous system, no, rounding things up, we have the some of the specific nerves associated, common specific nerves associated with our five senses. We have one each for sense of sight, vision, sense of hearing, audition, sense of smelling, olfaction, sense of taste, gustation, and we have one, two, three. We have five for sensation, like touches, touch and low frequency vibration, pressure and high frequency vibration, warmth and deformation, as well as cold. Okay, so expect that we will have a group performance task tomorrow in preparation for our upcoming long test on Friday. It's been a long time because I wasn't here last week because of the contest and because of the recent typhoon. Kaya I think it's time for us to have our first ever performance task tomorrow and long test in third quarter on Friday. But till then, this is Sir Jude. Thank you and good night.